Marketplace is a wide phenomenon. When you talk about marketplace, it means a situation or an opportunity where so many services are happening in the community. Welcome to the Senior Citizens Talk. My name is Kivumbi Earnest Benjamin from HICGI News Agency. My guest today is a gentleman who is using the marketplace to promote a very important agenda which he wants to explain tonight. Welcome, sir.
Yeah, I want to say thank you so much for such a wonderful moment to bring such an opportunity to share and talk about a very pertinent issue in the country right now, the marketplace and church, the marketplace and our faith. My name is Elijah Mutumba. I'm the Servant Executive Officer of Kingdom Promotion Ministry in the country. In the marketplace, we are dealing in education, but we also live to empower all Christian workers, like my brother who is in the media, want to see how you can do it effectively, and the Lord claps for you. But at the end of the day, you take dominion. We are in partnership with very many schools, and one of them is Lunguja Progressive Day and Boarding Primary School,
where we hosted last week Mrs. Sarah Chilabo. Okay, so you support her?
Yeah, we support the school.
Okay.
We support the director. We move together. The vision for the schools that we support come from the heart of the Lord. We ensure that what we've heard in the church, when pastors are preaching to us, my workplace is my gospel demonstration center. So for us, we go to schools and ask teachers, which type of science are you offering to our children? Don't play around with our doctors because they are going to kill us. They can go and manufacture virus because they know how to do it. And the virus come around the nation, the whole globe, and people die because there is a scientist who has a lot of chemistry but have no fear of the Lord. Even if people die, he celebrates the death of people.
So character is, I think, what you're trying to say in everything.
Value.
The value.
The value that you attach on your biology. The value that you touch on your chemistry. That value-based education is what we are promoting.
It should be for positive, not for negative
Yes.
intentions.
Yes. So we go to schools and we want to really emphasize this, that to the Christian educators out there, sit down and define the product that you want to see out of your school. That even when you reach before our Father in heaven, you will comfortably present that product as Jesus said it, that I have given you back the people you gave me. I have revealed you to them. They now know you, and they know me as your son. Every person who have the opportunity to gather people, you will account for those people. So we take this message back to the directors, and we tell the teachers to also carry the DNA. You lose education, you have lost the nation. There is one gentleman who quoted this, that if you give me a chance to own your education system for 7 years, I will give you the nation I have shaped.
What was his vision?
To make sure that they preach the gospel to the children that come to school, that you shouldn't be bothered with God. He is not there.
We are still on the Senior Citizens Talk of HICGI News Agency, and we are internalizing what is it that the educationist is taking in the marketplaces. You've been challenging me during the break that we would not have engineers to construct our roads that are killing us every day if these engineers got the right instruction, integrity, and all the values they needed. Actually, Father said that even Noah was given specific instructions
Sure.
on how to construct the ark, how it was going to survive And if he did not, he left any of those instructions, he was going to die in the floods.
Sure.
And right now we are not doing the instructions. That's why we are facing the thing that we are. Let's just start with that.
Yeah, I just want to tell you, friends, and all other stakeholders that are in education, whatever is messed up in the systems, we are accountable as educationists, because all these engineers go through our education system. But our curriculum demands that the child is able to define a certain term, recall and cram a certain content and fill in the paper, and get that one marked right. And then that is a successful student. And we put them in newspapers. But mathematics and physics without God is very dangerous. If physics is full in the head, but physics has not transformed someone's life, those are the engineers we get. If I'm given a contract, I know how to do things because I went to school and practically I did the things. But I can even know how to give a fake budget because
Fake budget.
I know. I learned mathematics. My math teacher in economics taught me how to work on a balance sheet. So I can put figures as I want them. It is only the fear of the Lord that can hinder you from not doing such a wrong thing. Integrity is not marked by your name.
Your name is not marking integrity.
Though it is what we need much in our families. The wives are crying that I need a man of integrity. The husbands are crying, they are praying that God give me a wife of integrity. You don't find a girl praying, God give me a husband who has a first-class degree.
I hosted Dr. Semper recently, and he did not tell me what I wanted to hear. Because I was telling Dr. Semper that DNA is an exposure of lack of integrity and honesty,
Yes.
which has been existing.
Yes.
And now it's being demonstrated into a funny of a child you don't belong to, but you've been taking care of the child and pregnancy, you are educating, and the child is not yours, and the woman is staying with you. And for him, while he was transferring it to their fake hospitals, which will give fake, I understand they can also give that. But he was not talking about
The real root.
The real root.
Lack of.
That you lie to the man that this is your pregnancy and is not.
You get it? But these people, let me tell you the funny thing. This couple, the wife, she's educated. She went to school. But no one was marking the level of her integrity. No one. That's why in our schools, like when you went to Longoja Progressive, you had the mission saying we live to teach and train. As I teach mathematics, I train you how to work with this mathematics in the way that honors the Lord. So you teach and train. So that means you are supposed to demonstrate that character. If you talk about integrity, then the children see the integrity being exhibited within the school community. Talk about it and do it. That's training. Your neighbor will not mark most of the things that we are imparting in the lives of our children. But guess what? Even at the examination center, your neighbor, the person who employs those people, is looking for people of integrity. Oh, thank you for submitting your papers. You qualify as a teacher, so you can set SST. PRE paper, UCE. But again, where is your integrity? That means these papers will not weigh. If they catch you with your first grade, everything, and they get you when you're exercising the heart of lacking integrity in this exercise, your job ends there. Why? With all the first grades they celebrated, I have it. I have a first-class degree. How can I lose that job? So the church that is teaching the people to follow God faithfully should prepare us holistically. We should have a wide picture. I tell the people I find and the directors that please, you are the bishop in your school. Every class is a branch of your church. Bishop kitegeeza omulabirizi, isn't it? You have branches. Every teacher, class teacher in that class is your assistant pastor. Is a pastor teacher. They are representing you in that class where you are not. As Jesus trained the apostles to represent him. And the children are the flock that we shall present to Christ at the end of the course. You understand, my brother? So the process must be known beyond the paper that our children are going to write, but be known outside. So the roads break after 3 years, after 2 years. Not because they don't know. They know. But selfishness was not fault when they were learning in the classroom. Corruption was not found when we are learning in the classroom. Do you know that there are topics that talk about money and budgeting? Topic. I'm going to teach our children, I'm going to teach my children about budget. About the income, the expenses, the what, and how I'm going to spend my resources. How can I fail to train my children to hate corruption at an early stage? Because they are going to associate with finances for the rest of their lives.
And money tempts.
Money
So you're not
tempts.
telling them how are you going to face the challenge,
Yes.
the temptation of money.
Yes.
When you are managing billions of money.
Yes.
But you're teaching them how to spend.
Yes. How do you save? How do you spend? How do you live with the little you have? How don't you lose your faithfulness even if money comes at your desk? Do you know that that money that does not belong to you is not yours? Talk about it whenever you come in, because a topic about money, we can have like 10 topics talking about money. That means the teacher is going to appear 10 times, emphasizing the point to the children that money which is not yours does not belong to you. Talk about it and talk about it. Practically. Come intentionally after on the 90th topic with some change. Change the money. Just leave some few papers of 10,000, sorry, 1,000 shillings, a coin of 500, that's simple money. Just leave it and leave the class open, go for break, come back and assess whether the children have captured what we've been training them. But when you give them the exercise, a man went to the shop and bought the following items, balance it and show me the expense. And then the children, hey, they are doing it well, they mastered in their head. But the moment you forget your 1,000 shilling on your desk as a teacher, you don't find it. So you have not taught.
They were not taught that.
No, they are not taught. They were not trained. Integrity is not there. They are thieves. They have learned the knowledge to steal skillfully. Because you told them how to spend the 1,000. Now they have seen it. So let them go and spend according to what you taught them to show the skillfulness of spending it according to the knowledge you gave them. But is it their money?
It is not.
And you never will mark the other paper. They don't know the character that they have gone with. As a child grows, the habit grows.
The more it grows, the habit also.
Yes. So what you plant in them right now, the good side, will grow with them. That's why we are saying the kindergarten, the parents must be careful with the kindergarten they are taking their children to. The parents must know which primary school are they going to. And when they go to the schools, the parents out, people who are watching us, please ask these questions. When you go to VD, ask these questions. Number one, I would love to know the character and the values that my child is exhibiting. Don't begin by saying, how many marks did my child get in the past examination? That's a small thing.
It should be the least.
It should be the least. Number two, can you identify the potential or any ability? Is there any special ability you have identified in the life of my son, because it is the gift that will open doors for your child.
So gifts are discovered at the time you are interacting, at the same time the child is being nurtured.
Yes.
So if it is not identified,
Yes.
it will not presume or...
It will not.
So as a parent, you have to ask, have you identified?
Is there anything? To the extent for us Kingdom promoters, where we have gone, we have even changed the report card. You, teacher, must first tell the parent, we have discovered this talent, this gift in your child. We have done this to grow this talent. When you are in the holiday, expose your child to this activity to nurture what we have identified. That's why we are saying whenever we have gone, please, every child matters. Elon cannot start competing with Moses.
Every child matters, viewers.
Elon cannot compete. Now in different schools that are secular and what, for them they praise the eloquent one, the Elons. Because this boy is stammering in mathematics, he's a stammerer in science. This boy is not scoring like Elon. And they put them in ranks. For us, we don't rank children. No. We celebrate Moses when time for celebrating leaders come. And we ask Elon to sit down. We applaud Moses for having and exhibiting good skills of leadership. Then when time comes to celebrate people that can explain and analyze issues, Moses, sit down. We celebrate Elon. Every child matters. Now they have seen it. So let them go and spend according to what you taught them to show the skillfulness of spending it according to the knowledge you gave them. But is it their money?
It is not.
And you never will mark at the other paper. They don't know the character that they have gone with. As a child grows, the habit grows.
The more it grows, the habit also.
Yes. So what you plant in them right now, the good side, will grow with them. That's why we are saying the kindergarten, the parents must be careful with the kindergarten they are taking their children to. The parents must know which primary school are they going to. And when they go to the schools, the parents, people who are watching us, please ask these questions. When you go to VD, ask these questions. Number one, I would love to know the character and the values that my child is exhibiting. Don't begin by saying, how many marks did my child get in the past examination? That's a small thing.
It should be the least.
It should be the least. Number two, can you identify the potential or any ability? Is there any special ability you have identified in the life of my son? Because it is the gift that will open doors for your child.
So gifts are discovered at the time you are interacting, at the same time the child is being nurtured.
Yes.
So if it is not identified,
yes,
it will not presume or...
It will not.
So as a parent, you have to ask, have you identified?
Is there anything? To the extent for us Kingdom promoters, where we have gone, we have even changed the report card. You, teacher, must first tell the parent, we have discovered this talent, this gift in your child. We have done this to grow this talent. When you are in the holiday, expose your child to this activity to nurture what we have identified. The nature of our academic system has been different abilities compete in the same game. It's awkward. You have fish-like people, monk-like people, snail-like people, elephant-like people in the same class. The activity is anyone who is going to climb this tree first and get the top fruit is the one with the first grade. Tell me what the fish is going to do. How will the fish behave in that exercise? That is the PLE, the determinant factor, is that paper. let it be there for the monkeys. Shoo. But in a Christian school, we emphasize, dig the ponds for even the fish. Because whenever you force the fish to climb the tree, the fish will grow up saying, I think I was born as stupid, and I have no potential, and I have no ability. But the challenge, you are the challenge who has not exposed this fish to the water. That day when you put the fish in the water, the monkey will look stupid.
The monkey seizes.
You get it?
When the own of water gets into the water.
You get it? We are born differently. You have the art of media. She has the art of production. We cannot say compete now. You just need each other.
We need each other. We are not competitors.
We live to complete each other, not to compete each other.
To complete one another.
You get it? In the Bible, God chose Moses. I'm going to send you to lead the people. I want you to deliver them from King Pharaoh. It was not an easy task. The guy was a stammerer.
He was stammering.
Yes.
Maybe we hardly know about the stammering part. We only see the Moses who performs miracles before Pharaoh.
Let me tell you, God did not look at the stammering. He looked at the ability to lead. It's different.
By the way, I was told that Moses had so many gifts. He was a judge. He was a teacher. He had kingship in himself.
And he was able to lead, a leader. No one has ever led a big church like that one of Moses.
Millions of people.
Very confused church.
Who just want to, can you take us back?
Challenging. These days you preach to the people, they just say, okay, I'm a man of God, and they go. But that's not the church Moses was leading.
But he was stammering. He had his own weaknesses.
Do you know what God did? He went and looked for Aaron. And Aaron was eloquent. But he came to complete Moses. That's why we are saying whenever we have gone, please, every child matters. Aaron cannot start competing with Moses.
Every child matters, viewers.
Aaron cannot compete. Now in different schools that are secular and what, for them they praise the eloquent one, the Elons. Because this boy is stammering in mathematics. He's a stammerer in science. This boy is not scoring like Elon. And they put them in ranks. For us, we don't rank children. No. We celebrate Moses when time for celebrating leaders come. And we ask Aaron to sit down. We applaud Moses for having and exhibiting good skills of leadership. Then when time comes to celebrate people that can explain and analyze issues, Moses, sit down. We celebrate Aaron. Every child matters. God knows that I have never created any person in my own image, and that person is a waste.
There is no waste before God.
Children here compete in different schools that we go, they compete in their different abilities. This is what God does. When you say, we want to select monitors this year, only 5 will be interested. Why? Why 5 only?
Out of a class of 50.
God is showing you. Take a keen eye on those 5. They are my gifted leaders. Whether he goes to ghetto, he will come out and say, for me, I want to become a president.
From the ghetto.
From the ghetto.
He's seeing himself a leader.
Yes. The teachers never saw him at a stage.
Museveni, when he was taking care of animals, cattle, he wasn't seeing himself as a...
You see? But in the classroom, every ability shows up. The journalists, when we have assembly, They want to come up and tell us what happened in their classes. And God says, take a keen eye. Raise them in the fear of the Lord. Otherwise, they are going to disorganize the media platforms. The atheists made this statement. We want to take education our side. But what we should do, let us design a curriculum that is going to be preached as a Bible. Without life, no connection to the Lord. Number two, let us train these teachers in those colleges to take your staff. They are coming out as our priests for the message we are putting in the curriculum. They are the preachers. Let us make those classes to be our pulpits. And the children, our flock. I will give you the nation I have disorganized.
Strategies.
David, after accomplishing his purpose, he rested. We have time to rest. How shall we account for the time we spent on earth and the purpose that we were given? The people, I asked the one who was working on the shutters, these windows and doors and metallic windows, and I asked him, you guy, I always see you in the overnight, you come and pray. I see you even crying in the corners of the church. But I've come to visit you at your work area. How is Jesus pleased with your work as you are doing your job? He said, wait. Yes, welcome on him. You're busy. It is hard. Emirembe, nekatonda. I get the peace with the Lord when I come to church. But I don't know what to do in my workshop. Because if I don't lie a bit, if I don't do this, I may lose clients. And my neighbors are working. They are using that method and they are getting clients. Convince them that this one will work, and this metal, if you can, we can buy this, yet it is not the real thing. Then you get some money. If I use only the truthful message, I may go back without money. He was honest and he shared it with me.
Yes.
So forget. That's why people who have done things craftily and they have accumulated some wealth, that wealth has not stayed because the sustainer was not in the plan of accumulating wealth.
Accumulating wealth without principles, without values, is just for a time being, viewers.
That's why you cannot show me big projects around the nation for those prominent people that were in the office some years back. Where are they? They had corners. They made people cry. Some people lost their items in a crafty way with a lot of corruption, and they cried. And when they cried, their grandchildren today, they are beggars. Because the blessing of the Lord continues to generations and generations, just because he is a sustainer.
You are still on the Senior Citizens Talk with HICGI News Agency, and we're in the heart of Kampala. In few minutes, less than 3 minutes, I want you to tell us the direction where our nation, where our families, where we should go.
All right, thank you so much. I first want to remind the church, the Christians, the believers, that God called us to establish his kingdom on earth and to ensure that we do his will only as it is done in heaven. In that family, sit down and reflect. Whatever you choose to do at a family level, is it God's will? In your office, as you are dealing with the clients, alone there when the pastor is not there, are you doing God's will? In that school that God has given you to operate, are you doing God's will? Are you trying to gather accountability? Will you be worthy to be told that thank you, good and faithful servant? Good is in excellence, and faithful is maintaining faith together with what you were entrusted to do. You don't separate them. Good is just excellent services. Faithfulness, failure to separate your faith from what God has entrusted you to do. Then the Lord will say, thank you, good and faithful servant. As I wind up, no that when you put these things in practice, you will be a true disciple of Jesus Christ. And the promise is huge. He will make you the head, but not the tail. If you have workers in different sectors, invite us. And we teach them to shift their mindset, to think about the work you have given them to do from a biblical perspective. Whether they are teachers, whether they are leaders, whether they are people in your company, and you are a believer, you know that God is the one who started what you have. Please let us come, we will visit you and position this book back in your company, back in your school, back in your family. In Jesus' name.
Thank you so much, my producer. Thank you so much, the cameraman. Again, this is Kivumbi Earnest Benjamin on Senior Citizens Talk HICGI News Agency. Until next time.